The new Christmas update is here, giving us access to a new limited time game mode called the Winter Express, and today I'm going to be running through how the game mode works, and I'm also going to be giving you guys the best tips on how to fully dominate in this game mode. If you enjoyed today's video, scroll down, drop a like, and also leave a comment with your thoughts on this update. How are you finding it so far? So let's quickly run through how the game mode works before we start going into some tips. So when you're picking a legend in this new game mode, you have to pick wisely, as each legend has its set class and set loadout. You cannot loot on the map, there is no loot whatsoever, so you're stuck with what you've got. Some legends have really good loadouts, but I've seen some legends with really bad ones as well, such as Caustic. Caustic's loadout is really bad and is not suited for close quarters combat, and I think that's to balance him out, because in this new game mode he can be very overpowered. Now when you do drop into the map, you won't have a moving ship like usual, and the main focus of this whole game mode is the train. The train will stop at various points, and every time the train stops, the first team to be able to hold down the train until this bar is filled will win the first round. And if a second team does approach the train and there are two teams on the train at the same time, the train will then be contested and there will be a pause until there is one team left on the train. On the top right hand side you can see there are three teams and there are 3 dots with each team. The 3 dots indicate how many rounds each team has won, and the first team to win 3 rounds wins the whole game. If you do get shot and you get killed, you won't go down, you will just be completely eliminated until the next round. Whilst the train is moving on to the next position, that's when players will respawn back into the map, and then once the train arrives at its destination, that's when you want to try and hold down the train, you and your team, without any other team on the train, and then that's when you win the point. The healables that you have equipped into your loadout are unlimited, so although it says 1 bandage, you can have an unlimited amount of bandages, so be sure you're always healing up when you're low on health. So now that I've done a quick run through on how the game mode works, I hope I've explained it as best as possible. Let's run into some really crucial tips that I've found are helping me out a lot. So the first tip I want to talk about is the drop. Now every time you're dropping, whether it's in the beginning stages of the game or the later stages, you want to go to the location of where the train is going to stop, because as I said earlier, the only time you need to hold down the train is when it's in a standstill position, and being future proof and thinking that one step ahead is actually very rewarding. So a lot of people are doing the big mistake by trying to land straight onto the train whilst it's moving, and that's actually a very bad idea. If you land next to the train in a good position with preferably a height advantage, you can see all of the chaos going on in front of you and you'll be in a much safer position. Once you've picked a few enemies off, then you can move closer to the train, and if you are brave enough to approach the train straight away, be sure that you're staying inside the train when enemies are respawning, as they'll be able to see you if you're on top of the train or if you're on the outskirts of the train. When it comes towards the late stages of the round and there are only a few people left, it's a very good idea to stay on the roof of the train. That way you have more freedom and you have that height advantage, and you'll still be able to contest the train being on the roof. However, you should only be on top of the roof towards the late stages of each round. If you do it very early on, then there'll be multiple enemies that will be able to see you and easily pick you off. During each round, you can actually change legend. If some of you guys were unaware, at the moment I'm finding Wraith to be the best legend in this game mode, mainly because her tactical ability is very good in this chaos situation. It gives you a few seconds to escape or to get in a better position without being shot. So Wraith is actually really doing me well at the moment, and I'm also finding her ultimate ability to be very helpful. If you place her ultimate ability inside the train and then the second portal outside of the train, this is a good escape route if you need to get away from the train, but also if you need to approach the train if enemies are holding it down. If you're approaching the enemies from the roof of the train having the height advantage, then you can essentially lock them down in their carriage, so it's likely you're going to go into a gunfight having that height advantage. When you are holding the train down and there are enemies still present, you don't just want to be hiding in a corner, you also want to be checking if anyone is going to be pushing the train, because that is the only time when enemies are forced to come onto the train, and usually you'll get the kill every time because the enemy is forced to come to you, meaning that they have absolutely no cover. And this is almost like how the ring is in Apex Legends. If you're just on the edge of the ring and the ring is closing on enemies, then the enemies are forced to come to you. It's the exact same situation, so it's a very easy way of getting kills. Do not just simply hide in the corner, because you're letting enemies approach you on the train and it could essentially turn into a 50-50 gunfight, meaning you could lose the point. So I hope you guys have learned and enjoyed today's video. As always, if you guys did enjoy, scroll down, drop a like if you want to support the video further. I just want to say I am loving this new game mode so far. These new limited time game modes just bring a fresh aspect to the game, because going into the same battle royale style of game modes each and every time gets very repetitive and boring. So I'm glad we've got this new game mode to enjoy for the next few weeks. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up here. As always, my name's been Mirko. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch all of you guys out in another brand new Apex Legends video.